Over the past number of months, our church family has been engaged in a discernment process around a potential anchor cause for our church. An anchor cause being a cause or an issue or a need right from within our own community, in our own neighborhood in Riverside South where our church meets, that we sense God might be inviting us to do something about. You know, our mission as a church is to connect people to the love of Jesus. And we long to do that not just by proclaiming the love of Jesus or the good news of Jesus with our words, but also with our deeds, with our actions. We want to live out our faith in practical ways. We want to love our neighbors as ourselves, as Jesus commanded us to do. That's what this anchor cause discernment process is all about. It's about discovering who our neighbors are, our neighbors in need, and what we can do about it with the love of Jesus. And as we've entered into this discernment process, we've done a neighborhood study, we've done a congregational survey, and we've met with civic leaders from within our neighborhood, and we've discovered that food insecurity is a significant issue within our neighborhood. And this was very surprising, to me at least, as we discovered this, because I've always thought of Riverside South as being a very affluent neighborhood. And so for food insecurity to be an issue, it doesn't really make sense. And yet, in recent years, as the neighborhood has grown, and in recent months, as the economy has suffered, many families are actually struggling to put food on their table. In the neighborhood study that we did, we discovered that 7% of our community lives at the poverty line or below. And 30% live at a household income of $60,000 or below. Meaning, with today's rent being what it is, or mortgage rates being what it is, that for many families, they're struggling to pay rent or their mortgage and to put food on their tables. This was confirmed actually as we met with food banks in the south end of the city, and they told us that dozens and dozens of families are accessing their services each and every month because there is not a food bank in Riverside South. They've got to go to South Keys, to the Pavilion Food Bank, and access their services instead, some 10, 15 kilometers away. And at this stage in the discernment process, we don't know for sure what God's asking us to do about it. We don't know if He's asking us to start a food bank in Riverside South, but we're praying about it. We're considering it. And as we consider it and look to be led by the Spirit in this process, what we want to do at the very least is partner with organizations in our part of the city who are doing something about this issue of food insecurity. There's two organizations in particular that we're looking to partner with at this time. The first one is the Bethel Care Center, which operates out of Bethel Pentecostal Church on Fisher Road. And the other organization is the Pavilion Food Bank, which I mentioned already, serves our catchment area and is located in South Keys, some 10 to 15 kilometers away. Bethel is asking if we can send some volunteers Monday through to Wednesday. They are open from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. They're looking for volunteers to come for an hour or two to learn underneath them and just see what it is that they're doing. And so we want to invite you, our congregation, to consider volunteering. If you have flexibility during the workday, if you can sneak away, if you're retired and have time, I want to invite you to consider volunteering at the Bethel Care Center Monday through to Wednesday. We're going to start doing that near the end of May for just an hour or two. And then on Thursday afternoons, the Pavilion Food Bank in South Keys is asking for volunteers to come and help sort food, stack cans, that sort of thing. There is a need there they can't keep up with. We want to just partner with them by serving in the love of Jesus in practical ways. And so for you, our congregation, if you're interested in taking that next step in volunteering at any one of these two organizations, I want to encourage you to reach out to us at info@thegatheringottawa.com and to let us know of your availability, and we'll work with you to get some shifts sorted out and get a crew going to both Bethel and to the Pavilion Food Bank starting later this month in the month of May. We've also got a steering committee, Anchor Cause Steering Committee, which we'd love to have a couple more people from within our church be a part of. So if that's of interest to you, please let us know as well. You can email info@thegatheringottawa.com. Let us know. And of course, prayer. Prayer is so central to what we're doing here as we discern our anchor cause. We don't want to get ahead of the Holy Spirit and where it is that God's leading us. We want to take this slowly, one step at a time, learning going to hear the voice of God as he leads and directs us. So please be in prayer for us as a church family as we discern our next steps. We're actually going to be having a prayer meeting as a church on June the 4th after the Sunday service. Want to have as many of us stick around as we can as we seek God's face together for his leading and guiding as we look to make a tangible, practical difference in our neighborhood. If you have any questions about our Anchor Cause process, if you have any suggestions as well for us to consider, please let us know. Reach out, info@thegatheringottawa.com. We'd love to connect. But guys, I am so excited about what God is doing in our church as we look to be the hands and feet of Jesus in our neighborhood. Let's keep seeking after him, pursuing his leading in our lives as we look to follow him wherever he leads.